Look who's back at it again. I'm actually going to make good on one of my promises in one of my videos. I mean, how has no one talked about this yet? Am I the first one to realize this? Or maybe it's the reason no one has ever asked for another game like it. Oh, sorry, I was lost in thought there. But what if I told you Skyward Sword is a failed version of Majora's Mask? And now this is the part of the video where you comment I'm full of crap and click off. I can't blame you. Skyward Sword is such a fan favorite. Who am I to question its reputation online? I mean, can you imagine being compared to Majora's Mask? That game's just a reskin of Ocarina of Time with a few more gimmicks. What? I have it backwards? People love Majora's Mask and don't give a crap about Skyward Sword? Oh no, should I start over and act like nothing happened? Oops. Screw it, we're going to do a 180. So, Skyward Sword. This game. It had the audacity to retcon everything and even spawn the infamous timeline. Does it really deserve the title of being the original when everybody always forgets about it? Like, I'm willing to bet you clicked on this video for Majora's Mask and just came here to bash on Skyward Sword. But why? Why did it epically fail? I hear the critics say that it was too linear and it committed the ultimate sin of forcing players to backtrack. Guys, not to be that guy, but Majora's Mask makes you repeat the same 3 days over and over on a schedule. Isn't that like the same thing as backtracking? Majora's Mask is pretty linear too. Most areas are locked behind item progression, like a Metroidvania. Unlike Ocarina of Time, where you can beat the Fire Temple out of order if you're crazy. And if you ask me, the repetition in Majora's Mask is like the best part of it. And they even threw in a boss portal to go fight the boss, depending if you need to go to the area before or after. So what gives? Why is this so cool and unique, but Skyward Sword is, I don't know, cringe? Did Skyward Sword try too hard when they forced areas you revisited to have some changes to them? But Majora's Mask has a before and after for each area when you visit the temples. Oh, I know. It was the controls, wasn't it? Silly motion controls. You made things way too complicated. Like, I remember when I had a Wii back in the day, and it didn't take long for me to figure out that the motion controls were just another way to press A. That was a sad day. But man, I was so excited to play Skyward Sword with those full motion controls. You know, I think the motion controls were better back on the Wii than they were on the Switch. I started my playthrough with the motion controls on the Switch, but I had to recenter things way too often. Don't get me wrong, I had to recenter on the Wii version of the game too. But man, every time you wanted to do something with the motion controls, you had to recenter again. So yeah, never underestimate controls. They can make or break a game. Bad controls killed the last Star Fox game so bad that no one is asking for a sequel 10 years later. Anyway, I feel like I've lost the plot here. Kinda like Skyward Sword. We should still go over what worked for Majora's Mask and what didn't work for Skyward Sword. Like, I would think that these games couldn't be more different, but they actually share a lot in common. You can say that they tried to use Majora's Mask as a template. You have the 4 main areas, sealed grounds counts, the hub area with the focus on NPCs, a focus on day and night cycles, and ever-present threat. Sounds like Majora's Mask to me. So what gives? Maybe it was the travel distance in that giant open sky area that I swear was inspired by Wind Waker's ocean. That ocean was super cool and really fun to explore. Fun fact, did you know in the HD remake of Wind Waker that they reduced the number of Triforce pieces that you had to collect in the ocean? Because, you know, it was so much fun. I don't think anybody was crying over those changes, but if you did, let me know so we can never be friends. I heard there's an amiibo that takes you straight to Skyloft in the HD remake, and I heard it shaves off like 3 hours of like playtime in Skyward Sword. Which, man, that's a long game. Seems like a pretty useless amiibo to own, just to have that for that one game I'm probably not going to play for a little while. But it would come in handy for Breath of the Wild. But no, we're here for the authentic experience. You see, where Skyward Sword differs from Majora's Mask is we don't have to race the clock or shave a minute off because I don't have to worry about the moon falling on me. So it's all about the slow ride looking at the view in the clouds. Man, where's dark mode? Ah, better. But you know what game was dark and gritty? Majora's Mask. For a kid's game, it dealt with a lot of death and made me have all the feels. That Zora guy was cool as crap. Sucks he's dead now, and he gave everyone hope for 3 more days, and left without explaining anything. I mean, what happens when the Gorons and Zoras find out their heroes are dead? Man, that's messed up. Not cool, Link. No wonder why you never talk. I wouldn't want to explain any of that either. You don't see any situations like this in Skyward Sword. In fact, you're such a good Boy Scout that whenever a mean reply comes up, I avoid saying it. It just feels so out of character. But, you know, if you do select it, everyone calls your bluff and shrugs it off. Am I a joke to these NPCs? Hey, wait a minute. That NPC wants me to do nice things for people. Oh my gosh, he's like the bombers from Majora's Mask. He wants me to help people and I'll get rewarded for it. Just like the bomber's notebook. I wonder if one of those nice things is helping a hand coming out of a toilet. Gosh dang it. But wait, in Majora's Mask you need to help 4 giants. Last I checked there aren't 4 giants in Skyward Sword. Dang it. But in Skyward Sword you travel around using a bird. In Majora's Mask you had a horse. But wait. Both were unavailable at the beginning of the game, and they were locked behind a fence until you had to free them. Yeah, but Skyward Sword had robots. Does Majora's Mask have those? And I've heard that time stones are theorized to be the same material the Ocarina of Time was made out of, giving it its time-changing properties. Hey, that main character looks like Link. Wonder where I've seen him before. Oh wait, that's perfectly fine, we like that guy. Now that I've seen it, I can't unsee it. Skyward Sword tried to copy from the best and epically failed. If you ask me, I think Skyward Sword didn't take enough risk. Just think about it, the main threat, the imprisoned, just isn't it, man. He looks like a rejected 80s monster that was supposed to show up in the Dark Crystal. Meanwhile, when you think Majora's Mask, what's the first thing you think of? Oh right, that ugly mug on the moon and that anxiety-inducing pop-up of what day it is. It also didn't help the cast of characters who weren't Gorons, Dekus, or Zoras were totally forgettable. Like, what is that floating umbrella? Who cares, you never have to interact with it. And why are there some Gorons but no other races? It was a bold decision to fill the world full of lame NPCs, and I kinda don't care what happened to him. Now, I know Groose is a fan favorite, but he really can't stack up to Epic Bandana Man. Just look at him. That's a man right there. And he forever ruined the way I thank people.
Thank you.
Never mind the fact that if you sleep in his house, you wake up and he's just staring at you. Loss of aura right there. Speaking of filling the world full of unlikable NPCs, I think this was the first time they gave us a companion people truly hated. Fi was terrible. She was robotic, annoying, and could have been removed from the story without missing a beat. Which, talk about missed opportunity. At the end of the story, you're supposed to care she is going to be sealed away forever. But like, who cares? You aren't even friends. But she like implies that she learned to love you, but it was never shown, and it would have been really easy in my opinion. It would have made the story more bearable if you saw Fi becoming more emotional. But she's supposed to be robotic. Yeah, don't give me that crap. Spoiler alert, Girahim is literally Demise's sword. And you can't tell me that freak show lacks personality. So yeah, no payoff there, and they want us to not cheer when Fi goes into the Master Sword to sleep forever. But the real question is, what if she wakes up and comes back? Oh no! Master Sword lost some aura right there. Majora's Mask just got it right. Did they mean to? Maybe. But could you imagine if it came out today? The game would look crazy, but I don't think they could come up with something like it again. I feel like older games could work with stylizing their games. Newer graphics are kind of unforgiving like that. What I mean is, have you ever reached your creative limit? Like, let's say that you can't draw something like a castle, and it just looks ridiculous, and the layout is like impossible, like it's structurally not sound. So what do? You claim that's how it's supposed to look all along. I think that's how it was for a lot of old games. They tried to make something look realistic, fell short, and then said it's supposed to look like that. Nowadays, we don't have excuses, and sometimes art doesn't translate to 3D as well. So that's what I mean by something like Majora's Mask not working today. With the limited graphics, your imagination took over the rest. And I think that charm is what games are missing. The ability to give you just enough that you fill in the rest. I miss that. That made me nostalgic for simpler times. But hey, that's why we're still here playing these old games, right? And now that I think about it, maybe I don't want some Unreal Engine 5 remake of old Zelda games. Maybe I want them to stay the time capsules they are. A time capsule that gets cool features like community updates and randomizers. Thanks for hearing me out. Till next time.
Thank you.